to the Bank of America Countdown to Green as we get set to go racing.
The Chicagoland Speedway, not just another mile-and-a-half track. Here speeds have climbed and tempers have soared. 9 events remain in the race to the chase. Still drying out from Daytona, the stars of the Nextel Cup Series are ready to go 400 miles. Last week, one man proved he's once again ready to climb to the top. Tony Stewart isn't drying out from the rain, he's drying out from the champagne. And today hopes to drive home with the win in Chicago. Under the lights in the early morning hours last Sunday at Daytona, one of Indiana's favorite sons went back to victory lane.
Tony Stewart has given them 2 in a row.
Still another was back in the chase, while this California son was back on top of the standings. Like a few others, they managed to avoid those nasty summer storms that raced through Daytona, but not everyone was that lucky.
Oh, Michael Wall trip spins, hits the 0-1 of Nemechek, then catches Biffle, the championship leader.
Storm clouds were everywhere, but some guys simply did not see the warning sign. Daytona dreams smashed, a fond farewell washed away.
Mark Martin's last ride at Daytona, going back on the flatbed.
When the storm was over, Dale Earnhardt Jr. was safely back in port with a top 5 finish and hoping to ride the wave into the chase for the championship. Who won at Sonoma?
His first victory of the season.
Who won at Daytona?
He's going to shut off the field.
Who won last year at Chicago? Will the Tony Awards continue today? You'll see it all play out next on NBC. NBC Sports presents the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series, live from the Chicagoland Speedway. More than 75,000 fans are here, and the stars know the race to the chase is beginning to tighten. With Daytona in the rearview mirror, the focus is forward on 400 miles. Waiting at the finish line, the coveted checkered flag, and the chance to move closer to cementing a spot in the chase for the championship. Hi, everybody, our NBC race family welcomes you to Joliet, Illinois. Thanks for having us in for the race. I'm Bill Weber. The last 2 weeks have seen the top 2 drivers in the championship standings swap that top spot. The last 2 races have seen Tony Stewart in victory lane. 1 year ago, Tony came here, crashed in practice, started a backup car at the back of the field, and won the race. Well, here is what happened in practice on Friday. Stewart cut a tire, slammed the wall. He was taken to a local hospital, checked out by doctors there, and in consultation with the track doctor, was cleared to drive. He practiced the car Saturday and will start at the back of the pack today after J.J. Yaley qualified the Home Depot Chevy 13th. Let's get the latest from Alan Bestwick.
Here at the Home Depot Transporter with Tony Stewart. Tony, how are you? What hurts? And are you up to driving 400 miles in this 90-degree weather?
I'm definitely up for driving it for sure. My neck's still a little sore and my back's a little sore, but we've had a lot of help in the last 2 days trying to get us ready to go, and feel a lot better than I did yesterday even, so I'm confident we're going to be ready. But I want to say hi to a couple guys. Cody Hewitt got hurt in a real bad car accident. He's the son of Jack Hewitt, and just wanted to tell him we're thinking about him today, and let everybody know that there's 800 store associates that are ready to go, that with this hurricane stuff coming along, there's a group of people ready to go down there and help out whenever it's needed. So all these Home Depot people, I'm really proud of those guys, and particularly those 800 associates that are going to go down there and donate their time and effort to get everybody back going again.
Can you get from the back to the front?
Yeah, I'm driving the Home Depot Monte Carlo. Of course I can get from the back to the front.
All right, good luck with 3 in a row. That's Tony Stewart ready to go, and we go to Dave Burns.
Jimmy Johnson is #1 in the point standings again. He was #1 in qualifying on Friday, Jimmy. #1 after 400 miles.
I hope so. We've had a great track record here at Chicago, I guess is where we are. Almost said Charlotte. But we've had a great track record. I'm looking forward to great things. I do want to point out that there's obviously a hurricane coming in, and if people can pay, either go and donate to the American Red Cross or at the Lowe's Disaster Relief Program and help raise some money and some awareness for what's going to be going on here in Florida later today, unfortunately. That's something that's been on my mind watching the Weather Channel this morning. But aside from that, we have beautiful skies here in Chicago, got a great race car, and I think we're going to be in good shape. I really do. I've got a very good driving race car, something I can slide around and have fun with, and I'm looking forward to it.
And for Jimmy, NASCAR win number 1 came right here at Chicagoland in the Busch Series 4 years ago. To Matt Yoakum.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. grabbing some shade with two of the Yates guys who are in the chase at this point, Jr. A big weekend at Daytona, tying your season's best finish of 3rd. Can you carry over that momentum to here at Chicago?
Well, I don't know. We got a pretty decent car, and it's been driving pretty good all week. There's some guys, man, it's just real fast here, and we haven't been able to find that kind of speed, but we'll just have to work real hard and try all day long and see what we come up with. And we got some other racetracks that we think we can gain on. If we can come out of here with a top 10, man, we'd be real happy.
And he's going to have 2 brand new race cars next week in New Hampshire and Pocono under the Steve Meal built philosophy, so we'll see how those compare there. To Marty Snyder.
Matt, Kevin Harvick is a 2-time Chicago winner. Is the car good enough for win number 3 today, Kevin?
It was really good in both practice, so hopefully we can take our GM Goodwin Chevrolet and do what we've done here in the past and be a good boost for us after the last month we've had.
After yesterday's Busch Series race, Greg Biffle had some very harsh comments for you. Where does that stand right now?
Well, I talked to him last night, but obviously I think after hearing the word, it's just kind of an irrelevant point, so hopefully he can realize that and come to senses with what he had to say.
Kevin won the Busch Series race yesterday that we just talked about. The last time he did that, Bill, he won the Cup race the next day, hoping for the Chicago weekend sweep today. Thanks, Marty. Here are the championship standings after 17 of the 26 races that lead to the chase. Stewart has moved from 10th to 3rd in the last 3 races. Rusty up to 5th. Martin slipped after Daytona. Jarrett climbed to 10th. Jeff Gordon is the last man above the dreaded red line, 36 points ahead of Kevin Harvick. Earnhardt is now 16th, 106 points out of the chase. You can't see the added security around the Chicagoland Speedway, but this week, as they do every week, NASCAR is working with the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force to make this track and every track as safe as possible. Today's race will be seen in 22 countries around the world, including live in the United Kingdom. To our friends in the UK, we share your grief, applaud your resolve, and with our shoulders and our hearts, offer you our support and strength in your recovery from the terrorist attacks of this past week. Tony Stewart, a native of Indiana, has always wanted to win in Indianapolis, but tonight he's going to shut out the field, and Tony Stewart takes the checker flag at Daytona.
Too damn fat to be climbing fences.
Man, that was great. Tony climbing the fence, the competition climbing the wall. 2 things a racer really wants: wins and respect. 35-year-old Greg Biffle has both. 10 years ago, he came from suburban Portland, Oregon to a short track in Tucson in the middle of winter, hoping somebody might recognize his talent and tenacity. Somebody did. Benny Parsons. BP suggested Jack Roush give Biffle a look. Roush did. Biffle has never lifted, and Roush has never looked back. Now the speed demon from the Northwest wants to put his team and his hometown on the championship map.
When he was really little, he was just sleeping all the time. But then as he got older, boy, as soon as he found out there was speed in the world, then everything changed.
The Pacific Northwest is dressed in green, a driver's favorite color. It signals the start of a race. This is where the race started for Greg Biffle, in timber country, thousands of miles from NASCAR country. First motorcycles, then cars. Biffle broke the quiet of the scenic countryside and is now making plenty of noise in the Nextel Cup Series.
just like seeing an old friend then coming back here?
I'll tell you what, it's tough to see because this is kind of where I cut my teeth. You know, this is where I grew up racing. Won a track championship here in '95. Won 16 out of 24 races that season. You know, on the outside of the racetrack here, there used to be blackberry bushes.
He came on the outside of me and came by me like another 25 miles an hour faster, and I'm going, there is no way that car is going to stick. And sure enough, man, I tell you what, he just drove that thing off to the end, and he was so deep into the berry bushes that, I mean, it took him a good hour to get him out of there.
My suit wasn't the right color after I came out of there. They were blackberry, ripe blackberry bushes. So 3 weeks in a row, I ended up in the berry bushes, and they named them the Biffleberries after that.
Biffle worked to race in the family steel business, in the car building business, in the restaurant business, but he still found time to get into trouble.
He paid a few speeding tickets along the way?
I think more like his mother. Yeah, he had a few. They had a picture of his car hung in the police department for a while, I know.
Well, I know every time I drove his car into town, the cops would pull me over, you know, and say, "You're not Greg, you can go home."
As a matter of fact, at one point he had so many tickets, his dad said he was not driving his Firebird anymore. So he took it to the shop building down there, took the forklift and set it up on the mezzanine. And there it said like a Tonka toy because he just would not slow down.
He backed up to the doors of the gymnasium they had open for a basketball game, proceeded to power brake the car and fill the gym full of tire smoke and left.
All the smoke somehow went inside the building through the doors and set the fire alarm off, and it was not good.
What'd they think in the gym?
They evacuated. They thought it was on fire.
I think I got suspended for that. It wasn't a very good one.
For more than one day?
Yeah, a couple of days. I think I got kicked out of there for 3 days.
Biffle chartered a boat on July 4th, his first visit home in 20 months. There's a lot of smooth sailing around Vancouver, Washington, and the crew of this ship hopes their captain is on course for the championship.
Yeah, the Northwest Portland, Vancouver, Camas metro areas, we're all on board. We're really gunning for that championship this year.
Yeah, everybody all the way from Alaska. I was up there fishing 2 weeks ago. And even the skippers on the boat taking us out halibut fishing were, you know, they were talking big about him. You know, that he's their driver.
You know, I kind of thought of it when I was going through all this in my mind, what I could do to give something back to these guys that helped me get my career started and made so many opportunities for me. And it's important to me because I don't want to forget where I came from.
And Greg, I know all those people who are on the sailboat with you on July 4th are really pulling for you this weekend. Let's talk about the race car. In the first practice, excellent. Second practice, not so good. You concerned?
A little bit. You know, we lost the handle a little bit in the second session. The first one, we the good old chassis 275 going to win again. But, you know, we still look like we're a top 5 car for sure. So that's exciting for us. But, you know, we want to win. It's in our blood. We've won a bunch of times. And just can't wait to get back to victory lane, and hopefully we'll just have a good, solid run here today.
You had some disparaging comments for Kevin Harvick yesterday. Where does it stand in your mind today?
Well, we talked about it in the motorhome lot yesterday, and, you know, I just thought that, you know, Kevin would be able to pass the 41 with only having 5-lap tires and the 41 being on 60-lap tires. I just didn't see him. You know, I didn't figure Kevin's car was too loose to get by him, and Kevin came to me and said, you know, hey, I couldn't pass him. You know, and I wasn't staying behind him on purpose. I just couldn't pass him. So, you know, with that, I said, hey, if you could tell me that face-to-face that, you know, you couldn't honestly pass the 41, I apologize, you know. But from where I was sitting, that's what it looked like he was trying to, you know, in case the caution come out, trap us a lap down. But obviously that wasn't the case. And, you know, it's all behind us. I mean, heat of the moment. And, you know, Kevin and I raced good together, and we've always had our moments. But, you know, I think it's all behind us.
Hey, Bill, you mentioned chassis 275, talking about today's race. Biffle has 5 wins this year, 2 of them in that race car. Thank you, Marty. 27-year-old Casey Mears chasing his second top 5 finish of the season as his second best qualifying spot of the year. Third, right in front of 21-year-old Brian Vickers. Vickers qualified 5th, his best career finish, second 4 weeks ago at Pocono.